Hi everybody, I hope that you're doing well. We're here with a general reading. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay. Starting off with the Nine of Wands, definitely was getting a sense in the pre-shuffle of you like going through something mentally, something that you're working through, maybe some stuff that you're revisiting to rework. Nine of Wands is kind of a show of a struggle that you are moving through, but it's something that with effort and tenacity you will get out on the other side of. See how this is kind of like a building energy, how this person is going up. So there may be steps to this, steps that you are taking. Definitely a lot of effort needed on your end right now. Maybe you feel like this is more strenuous than usual. You may also have to get creative with what you're doing. For some of you, you feel like you've hit a bit of a wall. Two of Swords. I'm hearing decision point. Needing to make a choice. Yeah. Needing to figure out, like, do I go in this direction? Do I go in that direction? What do I want to do here? I'm definitely seeing there be a time limit, a time frame on this choice. There may be part of you, definitely shadow, definitely ego coming through. You have the option to make an empowering choice, a brave choice, or you could make a choice out of avoidance and fear. Making a choice out of avoidance or fear would be like you telling yourself that you can't do something that you want to do, or that you're not worth it, or that you're not good enough, or like hoping for support or outward validation and then not having that. Things like that, that you can either lean into and go in that direction and be like, yeah, maybe that voice is right, or maybe that person is right, or you can get into a spot where you're like, you know what, maybe I'm experiencing that, and maybe this is difficult for me, and I'm still going to make the brave choice. Because you can't really control what thoughts are popping up for the most part, you know, but you do get to control what you do about that. So you get to see how much you allow this to affect the decision, to affect the choices that you're making. Are you going to be compassionate? Or are you going to hold space for yourself? This may be scary. That can be definitely why the defenses are popping up. Feeling like a lot is going on. Definitely a lot of air energy. You may get into potentially grounding at this time. You may feel a bit ungrounded. When we get ungrounded, especially with the mental energy, we can start feeling fear, paranoia, feeling like there's no way out, kind of feeling like you're trapped, feeling like you can't turn your head off, feeling like your mind keeps going in directions you don't want it to go in. So this is about finding grounding practices that center you, that help you like calm and feel at ease, de-stress, to not overstimulate yourself, to be paying attention to what you are energetically consuming. And if you're doing anything that is actively adding to this mental stuff that is making things more difficult right now, you may choose to disengage. For some of you, I'm seeing that like one of your coping strategies is playing music. Artistic expression, definitely something that you may get into, something helpful for you. Also, too, sometimes when we have ungrounded air energy, it can be helpful to do tactile tasks, like things that we're physically doing with our bodies, like coloring, or playing basketball, like sports related things, things where you're moving your body around, where you need to concentrate, so your mind needs to focus on the task at hand. Can definitely help de-escalate. Paying attention to what's going on in your environment, observing. Oh, this feels like a big undertaking. I'm seeing something get flipped all the way around. Now, at first, this may feel kind of jarring, like, why is this happening? Why are we going in this direction? Because I'm seeing, with the Nine of Wands, it's like, we are out here trying to get to the top of this thing, and it's just a struggle. You're like having to jump through hoops to get over here, to get out there. And then with the Tower, it's like, okay, now everything's kind of turning upside down. See, it's like right side up, then it's turning upside down. Feel kind of in a whirlwind of this energy. And the Tower can be, it can feel hard, because it can be like, I didn't want things to go in this direction. I've been trying so hard to force things in a different direction, actually. But with the Nine of Wands, it can be creating a lot of resistance to what is and what's happening. And there could have been something going on where there was this part of you that was like, I don't care what the universe is telling me. I'm gonna try to force this situation and make it happen for me. And now the Tower comes through, and it's like all of that goes out the window now, and something else is happening. The Tower is a benefit, but it may not feel like that initially. Yeah, maybe there was something that you didn't want to see the truth about. Like, I'm gonna keep making this decision and pretend that I don't see how it's affecting me or the consequences of that. But there is major rebalancing here with Justice. When Justice comes through, this means like whatever was going on that was karmically out of balance, whatever needed to be brought to light, whatever we needed to really see, that comes through. Karmic justice for the situation. So this too, if you were doing something that was out of alignment, or you were dealing with somebody that was doing things that were out of alignment, justice coming through means Justice and the Ace of Swords, something is revealed, and now we know what's going on. So something is no longer a secret anymore. Or it's no longer hard to make out. You can see things clearly now. I do get that this Justice card is coming through, and it's associated with the Five of Swords. So whoever had been in like a closed off space where they may have been thinking like, forget about everybody else, I'm gonna just take care of myself here in this situation, and I don't care if that is harmful to other people or harmful to myself, you know, things like that with the Five of Swords energy. Whoever was in that space, justice is coming through for sure. So there's some heavy karmic implication of that. Just the consequences of whatever this behavior has been. Yeah. Definitely get the sense if someone, whoever this was that was using their energy in a way that was out of alignment, definitely there being karmic implications of this. And that's not being said to be like, ooh, scary. No, what that means when we talk about karmic justice is that, like, it's meant to be like an energy of retribution. So it's like a rebalancing of whatever had been out of balance before. And so if there had been like a lack of wanting to see how our behavior was affecting another person, we get put into a position where we can't help but see the outcome of that. And so we come face to face with something that we can't look away from anymore. That's an example of how this can work. So it's just being able to see like the cause and effect of what it is that we are doing, and not being able to turn away from it. It's kind of like you get stuck with those consequences and they don't get shaken off until you work through it. Until you work through it, until you work it off. And then I'm seeing something move very quickly. So there is justice for a situation, and then things move very, very quickly thereafter. With the Eight of Wands, it's like there's only one direction now that we're going in, and we're not going to get pushed out of the lane. We're just going there, all in a straight shot. There may still be a bit of a resistance. Like, I'm seeing the person at the top of this spread be like, I don't know if I want to get on this train and go to that location that it's going to be taking me in. But the person's already on a train, can't do anything. There's no going back here. It's like we're just going there and we can't change the course of things now. Someone can definitely be in a space where Five of Pentacles slid over by the Justice. There can be like a fear of consequences, kind of a fear of the implications of one's choices. Or maybe even wondering, it can be two things. It can be like being in a situation and being like, is justice actually going to get served? Like, are things going to be weighed and distributed properly? Or being in a space where it's like, I did this and I don't want to deal with the consequences of it. So it can be like one of those two things depending on where you are. Which narrative is yours? Before you take action, you definitely want to check in, check yourself, see what frame of mind you are in. Because if you're in a space where you're not feeling great about the outcome of a situation and looking with like a lot of Five of Coins, very much associated with like limiting self-beliefs. It can be like very pessimistic, a lack of trust for the process, being in a space that's like very maladjusted, maladapted, things like that. Checking in with that and seeing how we can turn things around with the Hanged Man. So it's like, rather than seeing things as like someone's got this all wrong, like this situation is not supposed to be how it is, or like I'm never going to get out of this, whatever this is, where you're in a spot, you don't like the spot that you're in, and you're like, I'm never going to be able to get out of that. Hanged Man is like, let's zoom out, let's really shift our perspective and see what's going on here. Everything is unfolding as it's meant to. A shift in perspective is going to help you reach the conclusion, the enlightenment that's meant to be seen, that is not yet obtained, but that will be through self-reflection. And rather than avoidance, addressing this. But until that's done, don't move forward yet. You want to take the time to think about how you want to move forward. And then you will be able to proceed from there. But it almost seems like somebody's like off, or their perspective is even skewed. So until it gets corrected, one may wait to take action. Like something needs to be processed and even filtered through in order to move forward properly. And with strength rather than fear. The World. Okay. Wow, so heavy. I am seeing there be definitely a good outcome with this. It looks like something big is being completed here. But this has been feeling like a treacherous thing that you've been moving through. It seems like this is about really like not taking action until it's appropriate and checking the mind frame that you're in before you get to a point of making a decision or taking action. Creating, mentoring, leading. Before you're doing things that make an impact, checking out where you are mentally, spiritually. And really asking yourself where you're going to find what you're looking for. Okay, so all in all, this may be like a very grueling and difficult situation to move through, especially too with how I'm seeing the Justice card play out is that you've been working through a situation that's felt very heavy, it's felt very difficult. However, justice is coming through to rebalance things in a big way, to like make things right. And as much as there may be a situation that you're in where you're like, I know that this is dysfunctional and I still don't want to leave this situation, with the Tower and the Eight of Swords, it seems like you're forced out of a situation, so you don't really have a choice. And that may be bothersome because it's like, where did my autonomy go in this situation? However, it's definitely going to help you. It kind of reminds me of like a divine intervention sort of energy where you may not feel like this was your idea, or your ego doesn't feel like it was your ego's idea. However, this is all in the plan and it's all moving how it's supposed to move. And the whole point of this is that rather than continuing to be in a state of like resistance and feeling like you hit a wall and a block and this is very hard and all of this is a challenge and you've been moving through a karmic test, you're completing a chapter and you're actually going to be moving towards something that is going to feel both connected with the heart space and also much more satiating and fulfilling to you. Okay? And feeling maybe even reconnected, reinstated when it comes to your purpose in a way that you hadn't been feeling before. Like this is going to push you closer towards like your hopes and your dreams and what you feel like you're actually here to do. And I am seeing a new beginning that's a part of this, and I'm seeing you get very, very connected with your guidance as well. Definitely a lot of mental and emotional stuff that you're moving through. So who are we seeing here? I'm looking at Mars, Libra, Neptune, and Saturn. Let me just look and see if there's anything else. Yeah, I do get the sense like you may have not wanted to see something, but I'm seeing things happen in a way where you kind of get like forced to seeing what's going on in a situation. again, regardless of what side of this you're on, like which part of this you're playing, something gets pushed wide out into the open and it can't be ignored anymore. And at the very center of this is justice. So again, this is a huge rebalancing that's happening in a situation that had become very much out of balance. And you can see the energy had been definitely off kilter. And the Tower, again, even though it can be like, why is this happening? Like, now the Tower takes the situation into its own hands. It's all meant to be a rebalancing. It just needs a force as strong as the Tower to rebalance everything back. So yeah, this is going to end up giving you the stability that is going to be a real sense of stability that had been lacking before. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.